Hey, it's Manu with 22 Sounds, the brand new record store here in Mandeville, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans, for those of you who aren't familiar with the area. Well, we came off a really great Black Friday week and it was really exciting. It was our first record store related event, so having this experience was really great for us. We had a bunch of people here. Thanks again to everybody that came out. So of course this meant this week we had to restock, so we did. We got a bunch of stuff right into the Christmas season, so people can come here and stock up on their records, and really a fun little mix of different genres that we have here. That's what we're really aiming for at this store. So let's get right in, starting with some of the new releases of Friday, December 3rd. December, of course, historically is not the great release month, but there's still some cool stuff coming out. So we saw one that's, of course, big here in the area. James Booker live at the legendary Tipitina's. That will definitely be one that a lot of people around here are interested in. But not only around here, but of course for us a big deal. We have a brand new They Might Be Giants. Book is the name of their brand new album. Have Ice Nine Kills, and we have a reissue of a metalcore classic, 15th anniversary. This is All That Remains, The Fall of Ideals. So let's get into the restocks of stuff that we've never had in the store before that we're really excited about. It's the holidays, She and Him. We got that right here, the 7-inch. Then we're proud to present some new New Orleans metal with a little bit of punk mixed in it, Total Hell. This is a really cool album if you like your metal raw and kind of evil. It's really great. Teenage Bottle Rocket, the latest album finally out on vinyl. Then we got some nice melodic death metal. This is definitely a classic, early Insomnian. We're always excited when we get stuff from that era, from that region. Of course, Scandinavia, just, they know their metal. It's something, it must be something in the water. Great metal over there. This is a fairly new album. We got it here at the store. Had to restock on this. Idols, their brand new album just came out a few weeks ago. Then back to Scandinavia. This is some nice Swedish garage rock. This is not evil, it's not brutal metal, but this is really fun garage rock. If you like bands like the Helicopters and so on, Backyard Babies, kind of in that vein. Lucifer, that was a really great album. Happy to have this here. Gets a little more evil. This is Mgla. I think, I have no clue how to pronounce their name, but of course a pretty big name in the black metal world of recent years. A little bit melodic, atmospheric, black metal, really good stuff. We got, going back in time, this is Bo Diddley, our blues section. We've had a nice little dent there, so we're picking up on that, getting the crates filled again in that section. Drive-By Truckers, Decoration Day, one of their big classics. This is one of my, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 favorite Drive-By Truckers records. Absolute classic. We have Etta James here, At Last. The Eagles, live at the Forum, 1976. Bauhaus. We got a best of Bauhaus. This will probably not last long. Never had any Bauhaus in the store for very long. The Black Veil Brides are back with a brand new album, Phantom Tomorrow. And we got a little restock of the Black Keys, Let's Rock. The Descendants with their latest album, Ninth and Walnut. This is well, they call it the Lost album. It's some previously unreleased songs just came out this year, so we got a few of those back here. This is Nat King, sorry, Cole. Got the Butthole Surfers. And yeah, we always like to stay adventurous and put some stuff here that you might not expect from us. Sexual Harassment. This is some 80s disco funk kind of stuff. I Need a Freak, the title of this album. So if you like to kind of venture out a little more, here you go. You can do that here too. We got Face to Face, Acoustic. And then an old blues classic, a nice compilation of Robert Johnson's recordings, the guy that sold his soul to the devil, still working for him all those years later. This is a really cool black metal record of recent years. Venom, never really sure with those names, but doesn't matter. This is really ferocious metal. It has a little bit of atmospheric, melodic tinge in it. Really good. Really appreciate this record. We had Slow Dive here. This has been one of our big sellers here at the store. I'm kind of surprised. This shoegaze band from the early 90s, but it's great to see they're being rediscovered here, so we're always making sure we keep stocked on Slow Dive. Here's Golden Messenger with his latest album. Local hero here, of course, but not only a local hero, he's a hero everywhere. Louis Armstrong, live. What a wonderful world. Best of Sam Cooke. Talking about legends. Got some melodic punk. This is a legendary album too. It's Lagwagon's Hoss. This is remastered. Nice, you know, it has outtakes, demos, and everything on it. It's 2 LPs, so this is pretty nice package here for those of you who love their melodic punk. Led Zeppelin, don't really have to say a whole lot about that. Led Zeppelin 4, we have House of the Holy somewhere in there as well. This is just something we gotta keep stocked on. It's awesome to see, like, even like we have teenagers here discovering Led Zeppelin brand new for the first time. It's really amazing to see that, how that still works. I mean, I'm too young for Led Zeppelin. I wasn't even born when they were still together, and I fell in love with them. Every generation does it again. It's really great to see how music can be so timeless. But we have the new stuff too. Thrice, this is their latest album, just came out a few weeks ago. Depeche Mode. This is of course a classic. Depeche Mode usually doesn't last very long here, so if you want this, you might have to be pretty quick. We got some Adele here. Got a few left of her new album. This has been going obviously pretty well. It is the big hit that most people expected it to be. This is a nice little restock of something that really just came out a few weeks ago as well, or Blakey. This is Blue Note Records and has been selling really well here, so we figured we'd get a few more in for y'all. Tsunami Bomb, we had this in the store before, finally have it back. Then we got some hardcore, royalty hardcore legends here. This is for those of you who want to dig a little deeper into the genre. Void, more hardcore, with a little bit of a metal edge. Defiance. And then here, I guess you can call it now a classic in the indie world, Vampire Weekends, Vampires, Modern Vampires of the City. And I told you, we needed a little blues. We got the best of Muddy Waters here. And more punk. This is a fun little split between NoFX and Frank Turner, so that's definitely a cool thing to have here. Here is some death metal. Bad Sore. This is Italian death metal. I've been wanting this record in the store, I've been trying to get it, and we finally have it here. This is an album that I'm really excited about. Came out last year. Finally have it here on vinyl. Hard to describe. It is death metal, but it has a little bit of a melodic, progressive feel to it. Sometimes reminds me a little bit of Opeth in certain parts. I love the vocals, very raspy, not really that deep, guttural Cookie Monster vocal style, but like a really nice raspiness. Great record. Finally have it here. I'm excited about that. We got CeeLo Green here. You see we're versatile here. Sturgill Simpson, always a favorite here. He's just so versatile. It's great. Every album that he makes has its own style, has its own vibe to it. I love that about him. Got the Dead Kennedys, classic punk. Of course, that's something that's always very important for us. Khruangbin, got another one of theirs here. This is one of their older ones, right here. This is a black metal, death metal, somewhere in between record. Came out about 10 years ago from Cobalt, called Chin. Really good record, held up really well, so we're excited to finally have this here as well for you if you want to dig a little deeper into the extreme metal. We got a nice little Johnny Thunders treat. Of course, he is a very popular guy, so it's nice to have a little something that's you might not see everywhere. This is a live record from Zurich, which is in Switzerland, which is where I'm from, so I'm always excited to have records here from my home country. And of course you get a lot of the Montreux stuff, but this is something else here from Johnny Thunders. And this is a nice little thing too, two absolute legends, Albert King and Stevie Ray Vaughan together. Coltrane has been really popular around here lately, so we got one of his big classics back in stock here, Blue Train. Don't ask me how to pronounce this. Enigmatum something. This is a record, came out just a few months ago. Kind of looks, sounds what it looks like. Death metal, but really if you love the good death metal riffing, has a little bit of an old school vibe to it. Very good album. Glad to have it here. We got Lantern. This is a bit of black and death mixed somewhere in between the two styles. Talked about the Drive-By Truckers. As that Decoration Day, one of my favorite albums. This is one of my other favorites, The Dirty South. And here, Khruangbin back in store. We have The Cure, Faith. Of course, The Cure is one of those staples, so we're always happy to have here at the store. We have here Spirit Drift. Well, this is one of, the metal world is so split up these days into all these different subgenres. It's good and bad. Spirit Adrift really holds up the flag for like classic heavy metal, like the stuff that made people fall in love with the heavy metal early on initially, but without being old sounding, if you ask me. It still has a modern vibe to it, but this riffs, great melodies, anthemic, great album, Spirit Adrift. So we have this back here. The Clash live album, of course, it's a staple to have the Clash at the store at all times. We got Sacred Reich. This is some nice classic metal, classic thrash. So if you want to expand a little bit from the big four, dig a little deeper into the thrash world, this is definitely one to go to. Hardcore, we got DOA, Hardcore 81. Propagandy re-released this album not too long ago. It is the 20th anniversary of Today's Empires, Tomorrow's Ashes. It's got a few of those. Travis Scott, of course, he was sadly in the news lately. For other reasons, we don't want to go too much into that. We have this record back. For our jazz fans, Chet Baker Sings. And next up we have the Gorillaz. People always love the Gorillaz. those records, they don't only sound good, but they always look great too. Well, blues, oftentimes you have the old heroes here, but it's always nice to see some guys that keep up the blues flag, and Kingfish has really been one that kind of kept blues alive in recent years. Very great guitar player, nice to see some young blood in the blues genre. And speaking of blues, well, we got the old stuff too, Bo Diddley. And we have some more death metal here, Witch Vomit. The cover says it all. You can probably imagine what this sounds like. The Damned. This is the Damned debut record, one of the punk classics. I mean, if you're into punk, you just gotta have this one. It is definitely one of the blueprints of punk in the 70s. We've got more Art Blakey, one of his big albums, Moanin', out on Wax Time. We got more Slowdive. I already talked about Slowdive earlier. We've got more of them. LCD Sound System. This is a record we haven't had before. We have other LCD Sound System albums, but Sound of Silver finally here at the store. Let's pick that up. The White Stripes, their greatest hits. If you just can't decide which White Stripes album to get, well, get the greatest hits. That's the beauty of it. Neutral Milk Hotel. Another one of those albums that just never gets old. New generation just keep discovering that, and so we always want to make sure we have that here. One of the indie heroes of recent years, Father John Misty with God's Favorite Customers. We have 21 Pilots here. We just got their new one in. The one from this year, the finally got out on vinyl. We have that too. We figured we'd get a little bit of back catalog as well. Well, here we have some early death metal. Morbid Angel, Blast Order Sick. Well, when it comes to death metal, this is one of the absolute monster classics. And speaking of classics, Rush's 2112. This is an album that, of course, you just have to have in your store, and we do. Childish Gambino, Because the Internet. We got Awaken My Love finally in the store a few weeks ago. This is the one a little bit before that. Great album. Childish Gambino is really versatile, so it's every album has really its own vibe. It's fun. We got Nina Simone, her Ultimate Collection, nice overview of her career. And then we have another one of the somewhat surprising big hits for us. In the 4 months that we've existed, Arctic Monkeys AM has been one of our biggest sellers. I'm not surprised because it's not a good album or anything, but it was just interesting to see. From where I'm from, over in Europe, for me, the first album was always the big one. I really loved that. Second one too, but AM really made them big here in America, and it's fun to see even kids that weren't around then yet, because it's almost 10 years old at this point, or is it even more than 10 years, around that. Even kids now are rediscovering this album, so this might end up being a real big classic. We got two legends together, Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Then we got here the best of Connie Francis. And last but not least, Fleetwood Mac. One of those really sought after bands. We still have one copy, I think, left of the Black Friday Fleetwood Mac release. Basically the alternative version of this one. So we have the original here, we have the alternative version, both here. All right, well, this was a lot of stuff. We had to really restock here after a great Black Friday weekend, and of course in light of the upcoming holidays. So we hope you're gonna really enjoy coming here and finding some really awesome records. We're excited. So yeah, hope to see y'all really soon. Again, my name is Manu, 22 Sound. Follow us at 22 Sound Records, and we'll keep you all updated. See you soon.